Hi friends, I have started this series on YouTube based on my book Fire in the Belly, where I talk about my perspective on things and my perspective on how to approach a particular objective. Today I am going to talk about that what I have learned over the years is that different people have different perspective of looking at things. And this perspective is based on the diagram that I have drawn for you today. Now today the diagram that we are going to look at is having a central area which is in the sharp focus, and you have a fringe which is slightly out of focus. And this is how we actually look at things. Whenever you look at something, most of us have a target in mind. Most of us have something in mind that okay, this is, you start from your home, you're going to your office. Okay, and most of us, we are very very deeply focused on where we are going. eh? There are things which are happening around in our fringes, we don't notice and we keep going forwards. And this has been taught to us in our school as well, that if we are fully focused on the task at hand, we should be more successful, and that is what we are all following. But on the other hand, if we look at what people have achieved in life, so if we look at poets look at things which we often ignore, okay, and they find pain in those situations which we actually ignore, and they use that pain to write impressive poetry. Similarly, if you look at the discovery done by Newton, everybody actually saw the apple falling down and everybody ignored it. It was in our fringes all the time, but Newton noticed what was happening in the fringes. Similarly, as a doctor, I have often seen, and I'm sure you will, most of the doctors listening to me would agree. Sometimes we are so focused, sometimes you go to a cardiologist, he's so focused on the heart, that an obvious disease in the eye, an obvious disease in the general physical examination is missed. And then you get reminded of the fact that all our old professors used to tell us that please look at the patient first as a whole, then get focused onto our task. Similarly, as a radiologist also, I have seen many times younger residents, sometimes they will be so focused on looking at one part of the X-ray film, and they would be missing something which is obvious on the peripheries of the film. And often I will just pull them up and say, oh, come behind, take a look at the film from the distance, take a holistic view, then get into the focused view. Now, similarly, I have seen students who are preparing for the exam. Some people, when they see some line highlighted in a book, they keep reading that line with a lot of focus. I'm not saying that is wrong, but there are students who are able to notice things which are written in the fringes, although those fringe things have never been asked in the past, but they notice. And what happens is, whatever that you notice well in fringes, now the idea that I want to share today is that it is good to be focused. Okay, I'm not saying anything against it. It is very good to be focused. It is very good to be having a single focus towards which you're driving at. But it is not a wrong idea to keep your a part of your fringe vision open to notice what is happening around. And often you will see whatever you notice in the fringe goes to your subconscious, and if it is an opportune moment, and if you are a right person, that fringe it will come back to you, and you will make a difference by making it mainstream. Okay, it became slightly more complex than you could understand. I'll again tell you, the idea here is that the things that are in fringes today would come to become mainstream tomorrow. Okay, and who is going to bring them to the mainstream? People who make this habit of noticing the fringes, and who make their subconscious more powerful to notice the fringes, so that they become the leading edge of the society, and they make sure that the things which are in fringe today, and they bring it to the mainstream later on. So if I summarize the moral, or summarize the message for today's session is that things which are in fringes today would become mainstream in the science in future. They will become the mainstream in entrepreneurship in future. They will become the mainstream in the exam in future. So you have to learn to first take a holistic view, then get down to the focused view, so that you always have that awareness about what is happening in the fringes. That is the message for the day. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this session. Do write back to me if you enjoy this session. Thank you very much.